So guys, in today's session, we are going to discuss about the data policies. So today's concept is very important. If you understand, this is next step, guys. Stepping up the game. So far you understand to some level, level 1. Now it is level 2. Okay. So guys, what did we do? There is a database we discussed. In the database, we created a table. So in the database, there are a lot of tables, and we created one table. From the table, we designed the form. Okay. So using that form, you will enter the color, category, subcategory, short description, description, configuration item, state, channel. You will create a record in the table using form. So let me just go to the finance case form. So this is the finance case form. This is the finance case list. This is list, guys. This is actually a form. Okay. Okay. You are filling all the field values. Okay. You are filling all the field values. Okay. And you are submitting this form. So now you can see how many finance cases are there here so far. 21, right? So once I submit this form, there will be 22 records in the finance case table in the database. In the database, there are 22 records now. Okay. Well, guys, here there is a database. In the database, we created a table. From the table, we designed the form. We use that form to enter the values. And once you submit the form, it will create a record in the table. That is what we discussed in that is what we discussed so far. So far, what we are thinking, what we all are thinking. So we all are thinking that form is the only way to create a record in the table is what we will think. But form is not only way to create a record in the table. Form is not only the way to create the record in the table. Okay. In the table, there is a database. In the database, there is a table. In the table, we can create rows and columns. We can see here it is in the rows and columns format or not. This is a row. This one is a row. Okay, we can create the rows not only using form. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm going to the whiteboard. You have to understand it carefully. This is database. This is database, ServiceNow database, guys. This line is complete database in ServiceNow. Database is full of tables. Incident, problem, change request, knowledge, finance case, user, our case. These are all tables in the database. Okay. So let us take shipping case as a table, shipping case table as an example. In this table, you can use form to create the record. You can use Excel sheet to create the record. You can use script to create the record. You can use email to create the record. You can use record producer to create the record. You can use virtual agent to create the record. You can use chart to create the record. So from different sources, you can create a record on a table. In the database, you can fill in different ways. Okay. Let us take bike petrol tank. In the bike petrol tank, you can fill the petrol using water bottle, using petrol gun, hmm, using some pipe. So let us take petrol tank is a table. In the table, we can fill the petrol from different sources, right? Likewise, service in the service now table also you can create records from different sources. You're getting my point? Hmm? So far, what will be our mindset? There will be a form. You will use that form to enter the field values. You will fill the field values on the form. You will submit the form. Once you submit the form, those values will be stored into the table in the database. Okay. So now what we have to understand is we have to understand that there are many ways where you can actually fill the tables. Okay, where you can actually create the records on the tables. Hope you understand. Hmm? You create the record. You can create the record from the form. We have seen from the form we have created the record. That value is stored in the that record is stored in the database. Okay. So this is the one. This is the one that we created 5 minutes ago. Okay. So now what I am telling from the Excel sheet also, we can actually, okay, from the Excel sheet also, you can create a record in the table. From the script also, you can create a record on the table. Okay. So I'm just showing you one example. Using script, how do we create the record and all? I'll show you. Using script. Okay. So total, how many records are there in this particular table? 22, right? Using script, I am creating a record, guys. So what is our table name? U underscore finance underscore case, right? When why did you say incident, man? Incident is the favorite one. Is incident is your favorite table? Okay. In the finance case table, script I'll explain later, guys. Okay. Script I'll explain later. Don't try to understand the script now. Try to understand that you can fill the table, you can create the record in the table from different sources. Script is one of the source. Gr dot set value. Gr dot insert. Insert means it is like a submit. After filling in the field, you will submit, right? This insert is like a submit. So you have to take the field names, not labels. As a service now developer, you will use the field names. I told you, right? You underscore color. Congrats, man. Congrats to you. Color. Color is a reference field. It is a reference field. We have to pass the system ID. Okay. Color is a reference field which is referencing users, right? Any of the user system IDs you have to pass it here. Any of the user system IDs you have to pass it here. I'm taking Anurag system ID, okay? You underscore category. Okay, category is a choice field. You have to pass choice value here. Choice table is different, choice value is different. Card description is a string type of field. You can enter any value. Assignment group is a reference field, which is referencing group table. So you can pick any one of the system IDs from the group table. You can pick any one of the system IDs from the groups. So assignment group is a reference field, which is referencing group table. From the group table, you can find different groups, right? Pick any one of the group system ID. Shaker, you getting or not? Hmm? No, you are only understanding half of the things. I can read your face. Hmm? Am I right? Revise these sessions 2 more times. Okay. Guys, repeating. None in this institute, especially those who are coming for offline. N- none in this institute got disappointed, guys. Those especially are coming to this institute offline are 100% got placed. Mark my words. You can come and visit here. You see Nagras? Nagras has got job. Srikanth, Balakrishna will get the job. And there was Jayanti, Aisha. Everybody who are sitting here, everybody is getting the job, guys. Okay. So online guys, they are not informing me. That is the problem. Online guys, they are not informing me. They are not actually. Some people are saying after 5 months, sir, I got placed. Okay. So here at the institute, my presence will be there, guys. Okay. At the institute, my presence will be there. You can sit here and you can practice here, and there will be some of your fellow members. They will be assisting you. Okay. So it is like a friendly environment. Yeah. Fine, guys. So now here the finance case table, I'm filling the color values, category, subcategory, script, short description, state, impact, urgency, priority, assignment group values. I'm creating a record. Okay. This guy also will get the job. This guy also will get the job. Okay. You can see finance case record created here. Now you go to the finance cases. 23 records. So this record is created from script. This record I created from the form. This record I can create, I created from the script. Okay. From Excel sheet also we will create one more record. I am just opening one Excel sheet here. Don't try to do it from Excel sheet, but because there is a separate topic for it. Okay. Color, category, subcategory, description. You can fill other field values as well. Okay. You can provide the labels as well here. Anurag Reddy Challa. Okay. Category, software. Subcategory, Linux. Start description, text from Excel. Okay. Let's just save this one. Save this Excel sheet somewhere in your desktop or laptop. Okay. Where did I save this? Okay. So now I go to the service now. Go to load data. So I'm just creating a temporary table. So I'm selecting that Excel sheet here. Okay. Whatever the Excel sheet that I created, right? That Excel sheet I'm creating here. So in this Excel sheet, so this is the first sheet. This is the first row. So I am mentioning here, first sheet number 1, header row 1. Okay. Submit this one. Create a transform map. See this topic separately will be explained. Just understand that from Excel sheet also we can create a record in the table. Okay. Okay. You can see we're actually mapping this temporary finance case and finance case table. Finally, this is the target table. In this table, finally record will be created. Okay. You can use auto map matching fields here. Okay. Okay. What we can do is you can just click on transform here. You go to the finance cases, check if the record created or not. You can see just now a record is created. This is actually 24th record. This record is created from the form. This record is created from the script. This record is created from the Excel sheet. Okay, this record is created from the Excel sheet. So now I am actually going to create a record from another source. Okay. So from REST API Explorer, go to REST API Explorer. Okay. So here create record, select here as create record. Okay. Table name is finance case table in the database. Okay. So you have to fill the field values. Color. Color is a reference field, right? You have to pass the system ID. Okay. Category, subcategory, chart description, description. Only 5 field values I am filling in. Okay. Category, subcategory, chart description. Hmm? How many of you guys have started the JavaScript, guys? Hmm? You started. You will get the job. What about rest of the guys? Hmm? Okay. So Abhiram Superman. You can just click on send here. You can see it has created a record. It has created a finance case record. This is the record number ending with the 1119. You can see ending with the 1119, a finance case record created. Just now created. So this is from the form, from the script, from the Excel sheet, from the API, from the API. From the record producer also you can create a record. That means, as I mentioned here, in the petrol tank, in the bike petrol tank, you can fill the petrol from different sources, right? From petrol bottle you can fill in. From petrol gun you can fill in. From pipe you can fill in, right? You guys are clear, right? So likewise, in the table, you can create records from different sources. I- In the table, you can create the records from different sources. Okay. So these many sources are there. Okay. So this point should be very clear. Even in the coming days also, you guys should never forget. Even in the incident table, we have seen incident form we created in the beginning, incidents, right? We created incident in the beginning. We created problem in the beginning. We created change request in the beginning. We created knowledge article in the beginning. So these incidents also, incident is also a table in the database, right? In the incident table also, you should be able to create the record from different sources. In the problem table also, you can create the record from different sources. The change request table also, you can create the records from different sources. In the knowledge table also, you can create the records from different sources. In every table, in the database, in every table, you can create the records from different sources, not only from finance case, guys, not only for finance case. If you take incident table, in the incident table also, you can create the record using incident form. You can create the record using you can create the incident record using script. You can create the incident record using Excel sheet. You can create the incident record using API. You can create the incident record using the record producer. From different sources, you can create the records. So we can upload multiple records at a time. Yes, we can. That is a separate topic for it, guys. Okay, don't think about it too much. Hmm? You guys are clear, right? Okay, fine. Now let us come to the UI policies and data policies concept. Okay. So in the form, whenever you select the state as resolved, resolution code and notes are mandatory. If you don't fill in resolution code and notes, if you try to submit that form, will it allow you to submit the form? We will see that now. So this is the form. I am marking the state as resolved. Okay. So here I did not provide the resolution code and notes. I'm trying to, okay. It is not allowing you to resolve, right? It is not allowing you to resolve. Okay. So that means when the state is resolved, it should be the resolution code and notes are mandatory. If you don't fill in, it should not allow you to resolve it. Okay. Shekhar, when the state is resolved, you must provide the resolution code and notes. If you don't provide resolution code and notes, if you try to submit the form, it should not allow you. Okay. That is what my client requirement. So I have kept the state value as resolved, and I did not provide the resolution code and notes. Okay, I marked the state as resolved. When I mark the state as resolved, resolution code and notes are mandatory. Without filling, then if I try to submit this one, it won't allow you to submit it. So that means UI policy is working fine, right? Hmm? I am telling UI policy is not working fine. Because the UI policy work only from the form. Only when the state is resolved on the form, it will make the resolution code and notes mandatory. If you don't fill in, it will stop the form submission. This UI policy will not work from other sources. Okay, let me do one thing. This state is new, right? I'm taking the system ID of this particular finance case. I need this one. I need the finance case system ID. Okay. I want to mark this particular finance case to resolved. Okay. Using REST API Explorer. I'm using update record. Update record I'm using. Finance case. So once record created, system ID will be generated, right? System ID I have taken. Okay. So here state value as 6. 6 means resolved. The state is resolved. Resolution code and resolution notes are mandatory. I am not passing those values here. Okay. Now you can see the state is resolved. Without providing resolution code and notes, I am able to resolve it or not. Without providing resolution code and notes, I am able to resolve it or not. So that means UI policy is working for perfectly. UI policy is perfectly working only from the form. UI policy is perfectly working only from the form. From other sources, UI policy is not working. From other source, when the state is resolved without providing resolution code and notes, also I'm able to resolve it, right? Let me just show it to you using script. Okay. Okay. U underscore finance underscore case. System ID. Finance case system ID I have to pass it here. Okay. gr dot u underscore state is equal to 6. I'm not providing resolution code. I'm not providing resolution notes. gr dot update. Okay. So without providing resolution code and notes, I am going to mark it as resolved now. You can see here. So I am able to mark the state value as resolved without providing resolution code and note. That means UI policy is not working from the script. UI policy is not working from the API. The UI policy will not work from other sources. UI policy will work only from the form. Okay. Getting my point. Okay. Well, that is where data policy will come into picture. Data policy will work from all the sources. Data policy will work from all the sources. See, client will give you requirement, guys. When the state is resolved, resolution code is mandatory and resolution notes are mandatory. So that means client will not tell you if that is from the farm or if that is from all other sources or not. We have to write that logic from all other sources. Getting my point? Client will tell you when the state is resolved, the resolution code and notes are mandatory. I want those values. That is what he will tell you. So what you have to do? You have to make resolution code notes and mandatory from all other sources as well, not only from the form. You are clear, right? The resolution code and notes are mandatory from all other sources as well. Okay. So then in that case, we will use data policy. So we will just go to the UI policy that we created. Right click, configure, go to UI policies. Okay. So make resolution code and notes mandatory, right? Open this particular UI policy. Scroll down. Okay. Script is written or what? Script is written, huh? Uncheck this checkbox. Okay. Create UI policy actions. Resolution code mandatory true. Okay. So this is a UI policy, guys. Okay. This is the UI policy, right? In the UI policy, if you write a script, you cannot convert that as a data policy. Okay. As we have already written the script, we were not able to see convert this to data policy option. As we deactivated the script option, then we are able to see convert this to data policy option. Okay. So once I click on this one, convert this to data policy, it will be converted as a data policy. UI policy will be inactivated, data policy will be created. Data policy will work from all other sources, including the form. You can see here, use as UI policy on the client. That means it will work as UI policy. UI policy will work from the form, right? So it will work from the integrations. It will work from the Excel sheet. It will work from all other sources. You can see here new data policy created from UI policy. Okay. Now you can see here, I am trying to resolve this finance case from the script. Now I am trying to resolve this finance case from the script. What is it telling? Data policy exception, following fields are mandatory, resolution code and notes. Okay. We'll go to the API. From the API, we will send it. So you should get an error here. What is the error? Data policy exception, following fields are mandatory, resolution notes and resolution code. Hmm? We will see if from the form it is working fine or not. Now the state is set as resolved. So when the state is set as resolved, resolution code and notes are mandatory. So that means data policy is working fine from the all the sources are not. So when the state is resolved, resolution code and note should be mandatory. That is what the client requirement. So if you create a UI policy, what happens? That logic that you create will work only from the form. If you create a data policy, what happens? That logic that you create will work from all other sources. That is a perfect developer. That is what perfect developer does. Data policies is a good practice. Okay. So, and we created another UI policy. Do you remember? Whenever the state is set as on hold, the on hold reason field will appear and it will become mandatory. Okay. This should work from all other sources. Okay. So you can directly create a data policy, right click, configure, go to data policy. Okay. State is on hold. State is on hold. Okay, the on hold reason is mandatory. Guys, in the data policy, you don't see visibility option here. You can see only read only mandatory. Mandatory, true. What is that field? On hold reason. Okay. So I'm trying to set the state value as P here. P means on hold. It should throw an exception, guys. So data policy exception, following fields are mandatory, on hold reason. From the script, I'm keeping the state value as P. P means on hold. The data policy exception, the following fields are mandatory, on hold reason. Okay. Okay. So see here, when I select the state as on hold, what is it telling? On hold reason is not filled in. Okay. So likewise, data policy will work from all other sources. Okay. So guys, remember in the data policy, you don't have an option to write the script. In the data policy, if you go to the data policy, do you see any place where you can write a script? You don't find an option to write the script in the data policy. And using data policy, you can't hide the fields. From other sources, fields are already hidden, right? From other sources, the fields are already hidden. Do you see fields from the Excel sheet? Do you see fields from the API? Do you see fields from the script? The fields are already hidden, right? That is why you don't use data policy to hide the fields. You use data policy to make fields mandatory read only. Whereas if you use UI policy is used to make fields mandatory read only, show or hide the fields, because on the form fields will be visible, right? Hmm? So if the fields are not visible from different sources, from the Excel sheet, you don't see fields. If there is no fields, there is no views. If there is no fields, no views, right? From the API, there are no fields, no views. From the Excel sheet, there are no fields, no views. From the script, there is no field, no view. Okay. In the data policy, there is no view concept. Okay. So in the data policy, using data policy, you can't hide the related list as well. Getting my point? Related list is also a form, right? Part of form. It won't related list won't appear. So that is why you can't hide fields. You can't hide related lists using data policy. Those are already hidden. Okay. So guys, remember this point. This is very important to remember. Without this question, there won't be any interview. What is the difference between UI policy and data policy? Okay. You must answer in such a way that first you have to answer UI policy will work only from the form. Then data policy will work from all other sources. This is what you have to answer first. The second thing is UI policy is used to make fields mandatory read only, show or hide the fields and related lists at certain condition in the client side. The data policies, you have to mention that data policies are used to make fields only mandatory and read only. Okay. So in the data policy, you can't write the script, you can't control the views, you can't control the related list. Okay. You can't control the visibility. As simple as it is. Did I make you clear? Hmm? That is simple. ServiceNow is simple if you understand this concept. Guys, remember, everything depends on these concepts only. There will be a table. On the table, you will be creating records from different sources. So I'll tell you what is integration. Okay. So we are creating the records from different sources, right? From the Facebook also, you can create a record in finance case in ServiceNow. So that is what called integration. When two applications talk to each other, that is called integration. Okay. So when Facebook create a record in the Facebook, when you upload a post, that post has to be created in a ServiceNow finance case. Getting my point? The Facebook who uploaded that post, right? That person should come in the collar. That caption should come in the description. That photo should come as an attachment. Something like that. You have to map them. Okay. So in the table, you can create the records from different sources. Okay. Usually we will think as per our mindset. We come from non-technical background, non-IT background, right? What we will think? So incident, problem, change, knowledge. It is not that. There are different tables. Different tables has different forms. In different tables, in a table, we can create records from different sources. You have to broad your mindset. You have to expand your mindset. Your mindset is this much so far. You have to expand to this much. You have to expand to this much. Shekhar, you are trying to stay in this only. I'm not degrading you. I'm just trying to motivate you. Yes, we can also integrate ChatGPT also, guys. You can integrate Twitter. We can integrate any tool with ServiceNow. Okay. So are you guys clear with the data policies concept? Everyone? You can directly create a data policy. It is not that first of all you have to create a UI policy, then you have to convert it to data policy. No, no, no. You can directly create a data policy. Okay, data policy will work from all other sources. Okay. So tomorrow, guys, I would request you to start the JavaScript basics right away. I would request you to start the JavaScript basics right away. Okay. And from tomorrow onwards, I'll be starting scripting part. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all.